coming. And the Torah portion for this Shabbat is Ki Tisa, or as the extreme Orthodox would call it, Ki Sisa, which sounds like two for the seesaw, but it's not.
Oh.
Seesaw, but it's not, it's Tisa. Because if you put a tav at the beginning of a word, it's got to be not an S. Okay, trust me.
I do.
Good, thank you. All right.
Oh, I trust them too.
We'll begin the service, lighting candles. I know for a fact that there are more people in the social hall than here, but
That's
it's not
good.
a reflection.
They're here.
Yeah, Jude, to the honors, please. Thank you so much. Everybody, please rise. Who we got there out in Webland, do you know? Really?
Judy Sheriffson.
Oh, well, I like her.
You too.
Push the thing and then you pull the trigger.
Yeah, this is a big one.
That's very
Yes.
Don't match us
Okay,
anymore.
well, this is the first for me. Watch the guy lighting candles, Pete.
You're doing well.
Thank you. Okay. All right, let's wave our hands over the candles, over the eyes.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu le'olam, asher קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק של שלום.
Kiddushanu
b'mitzvotav, b'mitzvotav.
Vitzivanu, vitzivanu, lahadlik ner. Vitzivanu, vitzivanu, lahadlik ner. Vitzivanu, vitzivanu, lahadlik ner. Shel Shabbat. Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. We'll start on page 13. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Lachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeichen L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Are you allowed to open a bottle of water on Shabbat?
Only if you're thirsty.
Okay, anybody else?
If it's a matter of life or death,
Oh my God. This is moving in a totally
What are you
unplanned.
creating by opening it? You're just turning a little thing?
Yes, but I'm breaking the seal.
Oh.
Yes.
I guess you're supposed to open it before Shabbat.
Yes. So I'm sure there must be some Jews who do that. As I understand it, if you break it open for immediate use, you're okay. Okay.
Okay.
Of course, you gotta make a bracha before and a bracha after. And
is there a bracha for water?
yes,
Bori
Bori,
Pri-
not Bori Pri,
Shall
Shall Kol Yebed
Yebed
V'ro.
V'ro.
All things were created by God's word. And the second prayer, the one you do after, is Borei Nefashot Rabot V'Chesronon Al Makom Asher Barah Lahachyot Bahem Nefesh Kol Chai B'Ruchei Olamim. Amazing. I memorized that one.
It's not
Memorized
worth
the
drinking
sophomore.
it.
When every time you do something, you're supposed to say.
There are three final blessings, or at least two. The Borei Nefashot means God who creates living souls. Many living souls, Borei Nefashot Rabot V'Chesronon, and deficits. Blessed is the life of the worlds.
So every time you eat something, you're supposed to say a blessing after you eat it.
Right, but that's only for water and similar liquids. Otherwise, you have to do al hamichya. That's thanking God for grain, except for bread, because for bread you have to do the
whole
beer cup.
Hamazon.
Yeah, it's
Got
amazing.
it, I learned that something, they never told me that.
Yeah, well,
Maybe it was school.
that's all right. Somewhere there's a Jew who will look at me and say I'm doing it wrong. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at Yedid Nefesh. Now that I've earned it, I'm going to have some more water.
Say another blessing.
Soulmate loving God, compassion's gentle source, take my disposition and shape it to your will. Like a darting deer, will I rush to you, before your glorious presence, humbly will I bow. Let your sweet love delight me with its thrill, because no other dainty will my hunger still. How splendid is your light, illumining the world. My soul is weary, yearning for your love's delight. Please, good God, to heal her, reveal to her your face, the pleasure of your presence, bathed in your grace. She will find strength and healing in your sight. Forever will she serve you, grateful with all her might. Die, 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 Continuing now on page 15. Lechu niranina, lechu niranina, lechu niranina l'Adonai. Lechu niranina, lechu niranina, lechu niranina l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, l'tzur yishenu, l'kanaf fanav b'todah. Naria, Naria, l'tzur yishenu, b'zmirot Naria lo. Lechu niranina, lechu niranina, lechu niranina l'Adonai. Lechu niranina, lechu niranina, lechu niranina l'Adonai. Let's read the last three stanzas. Harden not your heart in the way of your ancestors who tried and tested me in the wilderness, even though they had witnessed my miracles. Together, 40 years of contending with that generation led me to say, they are wayward, they care not for my ways. In indignation, therefore, did I vow, never would they reach my land, the land of peace, the land of rest. Now, what generation are we talking about? You've got two generations. You've got the Dor HaYetziyah, the generation of the Exodus, or the Dor HaMidbar, the
Talking about
generation
that
of the
one.
wilderness. Sorry?
Generation of the Exodus.
The Exodus, yes indeed. I mean, what was it that they did that made God so upset with them?
The golden calf.
That's this Shabbat, as a matter of fact. Anything else?
Korah.
Korach, yes, right.
A lot of fetching.
Yeah,
A lot of fetching. Yes, Jews have not stopped fetching. Yes, yes. What was the other thing? There was one more thing.
Water, they wanted water.
Yeah, they were always complaining about water, they were complaining about different food, they did complain on an awful lot.
Even, they even
And
said
God couldn't be like the father who said, don't make me come back there. Okay, what did you say, Lehman?
They couldn't get the cap off the water.
That's it, there you go. Okay,
some of them thought that they were better off as slaves in
Yeah.
Egypt.
yes,
I would
yes.
say like,
mhm.
why'd you take us out of there just to lead us through this?
Yes, we remember the leeks and the garlic.
Yeah.
Yes, I must say, if you're going to risk death for garlic, I don't know what to say, really. Yeah.
Ben's up in, Ben's restaurant.
Yes,
They have the answer across the top. It says, and I can't quote it verbatim, Jews traveled 40 years in the desert and then they found Boca.
yes. Okay, moving on, this is going off in its own path. Here we go. Let's take a look. I don't want to do that one. Let's do 17. Okay. The mountains really melt like wax before Adonai.
It's a metaphor,
And he done right.
it's a simile.
Can I get a sandwich?
The earth trembles.
I just have books, those sandwiches somewhere.
The earth trembles. Okay, Shane, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 from the bottom, responsively. Shame covers those who worship idols, those who take pride in revering images, which must themselves bow low before God. Hearing of your judgments, Adonai, Zion exults, and the cities of Judah rejoice. You are supreme over all the earth, highly exalted beyond all that is worshipped. Those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the faithful and saves them from the wicked. Light is stored for the righteous, joy for the honorable. Rejoice in Adonai, you who are righteous. Acclaim the holiness of God's name. The last two lines of the psalm on the right-hand side, 17. Or zaru ala tzadik, uli yishrei simcha. Or zaru ala tzadik, uli yishrei simcha. Yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, v'hodu lezecher kodsho. Okay. Let's page 19. The contrast between human and divine justice is the theme of this psalm. God alone judges the world with righteousness, and the children of Jacob are a superb example of the righteousness of divine judgment. Yet God, though bestowing compassion on Israel, does not show arbitrary favoritism. Even our greatest leaders must answer for their misdeeds. Oh boy.
Yep.
Okay.
That's oh boy.
Any thoughts?
Many.
Yeah, well, okay. All right, let's take it from 4 from the bottom. Moses, Aaron, and Samuel, God's chosen ones, called out to Adonai, who answered them in a pillar of cloud. Together, they zealously strove to obey the divine law, even when God's decrees were beyond their grasp. You responded to them with compassion, even as you rebuked them for their offenses. Extol Adonai and bow toward God's holy mountain. Adonai, our God, is holy. Okay, who's your favorite, Moses, Aaron, or Samuel?
Moses.
Okay.
Not God.
I have to obey.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay, anybody else? One more? Robert, come on, you're an attorney.
No, I would go with Moses.
Moses.
From Moses to Moses, there's no one like Moses.
Well, the second Moses is Rambam, Moshe ben Maimon.
Yes, he was not small potatoes either.
No, he was a big deal.
No,
He
but
really
he wasn't
was.
put in the list.
Well, he wasn't around when they wrote this. But why Samuel? I love Samuel, but he's a pain. Absolutely. He doesn't know when to give up. It's like the Rabbi Emeritus, which they very often pronounce emeritus, like it's a disease. It's very odd. But Samuel was he was a prophet, he was a chieftain, and he was what else? Oh, he was the high priest. Yes, he was. Okay? But he didn't know when to give up. He didn't know when to quit. When he appointed Saul as the first king of Israel, Saul was in sad shape. Saul was manic depressive, you see, but he was a mighty warrior. I'm going to teach that sometime. It'll be very nice. Okay, let's take it from page 20, top left. Top right. Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai b'nei Eli, Havul Adonai kavod va'oz. Havul Adonai kivod shemo, Ishtachavu Adonai b'hara kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, El hakavod irim, Adonai al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vayishaber Adonai et arsei halchanon, Vayar kidem kimo egel, Levanon v'Sirion kimo ben reimim, Kol Adonai totzev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yechol elayarot, Vayechesof yarot, uveichalo kulo merkavod, Adonai lavahu yashav, Vayeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz ve'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. I'm very honored at this time to call upon our cantor to sing with us the Lecha Dodi.
Page 21, we'll sing together the first two verses and then on the next page the last verse. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikavela, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikavela, Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'tilah. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikavela, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikavela, Likrat Shabbat lechu v'lecha, Ki hi mekor ha'beracha, Ve'rosh li kedem nesucha, Sof mater v'machshavat tchila. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikavela, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikavela. Boli shalom ateret kala, Gam b'simcha u'b'tzorah, Tochem u'ne'am situla, Boli chala, Boli chala. Lecha Dodi, join together. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת. We join together 4 lines from the bottom. Tzadik ata amar yifrach, ke'eretz bano yizker, shetuvim beveit Adonai, bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Od yenuvun beseva, deshenim ve'ramim yiru le'agid yashar Adonai Tzuri v'lo avatav.
Thank you, Cantor. We can put the prayer books aside now, and I'll do a short disquisition on the Parshat HaShavua, the Torah portion of the week. I have to say that we're running into the tail end of Exodus, that is Sefer Shemot, and that's really too bad, because what comes after Shemot is Vayikra. Vayikra is Leviticus, and it is completely laws of purity and laws of sacrifice. It's very little narrative. But at the same time, Vayikra, Leviticus, is usually regarded as the very first of the 5 books to have been written. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people believe it was Bereshit, Genesis, but that is not true. Even though when I started first grade in yeshiva, we started with Genesis the same as everybody else. But let's talk about this particular Torah portion. It's Exodus 30, verse 11. And 30 means you are getting to the end of Exodus, which is too bad, as I said before. Now, what are the Jews commanded to do? This is a mitzvah which actually became part of Purim. The people of Israel are told to contribute exactly half a shekel of silver to the sanctuary. That's machzit hashekel b'shekel hakodesh. There was an official measurement for shekel. This is one of the few mentions of it. And to the extent that today the shekel is considered a cornerstone of the Israeli economy. So what do? They had to donate half a shekel. That's not an awful lot. The other reason for it is because this was their way of taking the census. Every male, who was 21 or older was commanded to give the machzit hashekel, the half a shekel. Not the women, not the children, not the donkeys, not the cows, just the men. It's really, the Torah is a boys' book written by and for boys. I was very happy, for example, this past week to notice that there is a woman, she's an Israeli artist who lives here now, lives in New York, and she is presenting what she calls Torah. That is her Torah. She takes stories from the Torah and she kind of feminizes them. For example, she took the sacrifice of Abraham, sacrifice of Isaac, and she made it a woman and the woman's daughter, which I think gives a different angle to the thing. But getting back to this, what else did they have to make? They had to build these things. You have to understand, if you take the traditional count, there were 600,000 men over the age of 21, all of them married, provided with 2.5 children. I have never seen 5/10 of a child, but that's the number that you get from scholarship. And these men were out there in the wilderness. Moses, meanwhile, had to build the sanctuary. He had to build Ohel Moed, the tent of meeting. He had to build the tabernacle box. He had to build the 7-branch candlestick and everything else involved. There was also a brass altar, which had it had a ramp rather than stairs. Why did it have a ramp? Why not stairs?
ADA approved?
Well, okay, but there was no railing.
It's supposed to be more modest.
For the animals?
I don't
to
quite
bring them.
understand that, but
Because,
Something to be rolled up and rolled down?
well, I'll give this one to Paul. Because if you have steps, then the high priest is wearing a robe. He has to hike up his robe almost over his kneecaps to go up the flight of stairs. If it's a ramp, he can just make it by himself. So it was a matter of modesty. Apparently people were ogling the high priest's gams, and they said it wasn't the right thing to do.
Why is it 21 rather than 13 years old?
Oh, because 13 is not, how, were you mature when you were 13?
No, but they said you're a man.
That is, with all due respect, that is hooey. Okay?
Is it something that came along later?
Yes, 21 being the adult. And of course, there are the Jewish authorities who believe that the fetus is not viable until it graduates from law school or medical school. Okay. All right. So they 600,000 men. Who was handy? How many of them were handy?
You.
Anybody handy here?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. See, but there's two. Exactly. They had two handy guys in all of Israel. Bezalel, after whom they nicely named an art school, and Aholiab, after they didn't name anything, which is too bad. I wrote an essay once where these guys go to Home Lowe's and try to figure out how they're going to build the cherub and the candlestick and all that business. So, anyway, Moses goes up on top of Mount Sinai. What is he going to get? A major headache. Because while he's away, the Israelites build what? The golden calf. Yes. And the fact is, they weren't worshiping the calf. They were worshiping the invisible god, Baal, for example, was the chief of the Babylonian pantheon. And he was mounted on the calf. That was the thing. Baal was very often depicted riding a bull. I guess he was just starting out, so they gave him a calf. And Moses comes down off the mountain. He sees the Israelites rejoicing around the calf. What does he do?
Smashes the tablets.
Breaks the tablets. What else?
He froze it at the calf.
He does what?
He froze it at the,
The calf?
yeah.
Is that the movie version or the Torah version?
I think it's both,
Okay, I don't remember anymore.
yeah.
The only thing I remember about the Ten Commandments was Charlton Heston, that amazing pompadour. Really, I tried to match that pompadour when I was 13. It didn't quite go. Well, anyway, Moses smashes the calf. He mixes it with river water, and he makes the Israelites drink of it. It's sort of the biblical equivalent of eating crow. Let's see. God says, "Let me destroy this people and make of you, Moses, a mighty nation." And Moses says, this is the first time in Jewish tradition this excuse was ever used. He said, God, if you destroy this people, what are the Egyptians going to say? It's amazing. It's right there in the Torah. And we've been saying it ever since. Of course, my mother added her own line, which was, why don't you bang your head against the wall? It'll feel so good when you stop. I never understood that. Okay. All right. Let's see. Seeing the people. Okay. And God says, let me destroy this people. And Moses says, if you do not forgive this people, blot me out from the book which you have written. Machotimche. God forgives. He says, ho, ho, ho. The effect of their sin will be felt for many generations. That's sad. That really is. This is the early on Torah. By the time you get to where, for example, if God forbid, something bad happens to someone, it's because their great-great-great-great-grandfather did something wrong. And the rabbis were astonished and upset by this. So they changed it to everyone is responsible for their own sins and their own mitzvot. Okay. He prepares a new set of tablets. Is God going to write this set of tablets?
No.
Moses is going to write this set of tablets. Let's see. He also has a vision. He goes up to the mountain and he says to God, show me your face. And God says, no one may look upon my face and live. But, says God, there is a rock over there with a space in the middle, sort of like a womb, a rocky womb. Moses, you climb into that and then just watch at my majesty. And God goes by him in the shape of a whirlwind, and the leaves are blowing, and the trees are bending, and sticks are flying, and Moses is scared to death there in his rocky womb. And what does he say? Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed V'Yemet. The Lord God, who's full of majesty and compassion, working charity to the 10th generation, but God will not be upset with them. Then he comes off the mountain, and he tries to teach Torah to the Israelites, but his face is shining because he's just had FaceTime with God. And the people cannot bear to look at him. It's like looking at the sun. So instead, he gets a maspeh. He gets a veil, and he covers his face. When he teaches the people Torah, he covers his face. When he uncovers his face, he's going back up to Mount Sinai to learn Torah. Any questions? It's a very dramatic Torah portion. They really kind of pile stuff on, but I kind of like it. Anyone? Okay, very good. Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos. And Cantor will lead us in the Baruch Hu on page 28. Please rise. Yes. Would you folks open the ark, please?
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated.
Let's read together the first blessing in the English on the left side. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe. Your word bringing the evening dusk. You open with wisdom the gates of dawn, design the day with wondrous skill, set out the succession of seasons, and arrange the stars of the sky according to your will. Adonai Tzebaot, you create day and night, roll light away from darkness, and darkness away from light. Eternal God, your sovereignty shall forever embrace us. Praise are you, Adonai, for each amongst us. El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ari v'Ravi. Page 29. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael, Amcha V'shamreinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chutkecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam ha'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negeh yomam v'layla ve'ahabatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael.
On page 30, we have the Shema. Please cover the eyes. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Uncover the eyes. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Reading in the English. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. And these words which I command you this day, you shall take to heart. Teach them diligently to your children, and recite them at home and away, night and day. Bind them as a sign upon your hand, and as a reminder above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your homes and on your gates. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Amen. 32.
Middle of the page. U'malchuto v'ratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe u'bnei Yisrael echanu shira b'simcha rabah ve'amaru kulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedor b'kodesh na'ora tehilot osei felem malchutecha ra'u banecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe ze'eli anu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
All right, this is the prayer on 33 where we pray for the folks who are not well. I'll read off the list here. Jeffrey Stern, Refuah Shlema. Sheila Bergman, Refuah Shlema. Marsha Wairobi, Refuah Shlema. Martin Mentor, Refuah Shlema. Joe Albert, Refuah Shlema. Wendy Kerrigan, Refuah Shlema. Kenny Roth, Refuah Shlema. Vince and Patricia Massey, Refuah Shlema. Rachel Spearer, Refuah Shlema. Susan Cohen, Refuah Shlema. And Jorge's mother, Refuah Shlema. Any other names?
11.
Refuah Shlema. Also, we pray for our Israeli brothers and sisters who are going through all sorts of trauma and hope that the war will end soon. Let's read the English paragraph on the top left of 33. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace, and awaken us again, our sovereign, to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us. our gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praise be you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all his people Israel, over Jerusalem and the entire world. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Borei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisroel, v'al Yerushalayim, v'al kol haolam kulo. Amen. 34.
Please rise.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבי, ועלמא דברה קידותי, וימליך מלכותי, וחייכון וביומכון, וחיי דברו בית ישראל. בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יש לרבה מבורך ולעולם ולעולמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה ושכחתה ונחמתה תעני רדימה ויאמרו אמן. We recite the Amidah individually, pages 35 through 38. Let's sing together Shalom Rav, page 38. Shalom Rav Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael tasim leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael tasim leolam. We turn now to page 47. ויחולו השמיים והארץ לכל צבאם. ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה. וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו. כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו. כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו. אשר ברא אלוהים. אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב אלוהי שרה אלוהי רבקה אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אל עליון כונני שמיים וארץ. מגן אבות בדברו וחיי מתים במאמרו. האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו. כי בם רצה להניח להם. כי בם רצה להניח להם. לפניו נעבוד ביראת פחד ונודה נשכב בחלום תמיד מאוד הברכות. אל אבות אבות אדון השלום מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי ומברך מניח בקדושה, להמד ושני עונג, זרע למעשה בראשית. Page 48. Eloheinu ואלוהי אבותינו, רצי במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך, שבענו מטובך, ושמחנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת. והנחילנו, אדוני אלוהינו, באהבה וברצון, שבת קודשך, וינוחו בה ישראל, מקדשי שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבי, לעלמא דברה קירותי, וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבא מבורך, לעולם ועד יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי תקודשה בריאו. לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן ביומה ויאמרו אמן. תתקבל צלותיהן ובאותיהן כל ישראל, קודם אבהון וישמעיה ויאמרו אמן. יהי שממה רבה מן שמעיה וחיים, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו amen.
All right, we have the Kiddush on page 49.
Wine.
Good stuff.
Good stuff on this side.
Thank you. Shabbos. Thank you.
Thank you.
סברי חבריי, ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הארץ. ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו, ורצה בנו, בשבת קודשו, באהבה ורצון, עם חילונו, זיכרונו למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תביאו למקראי קודש, זכר לציון מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל אביב, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון.
You enjoyed that. You?
Okay, we've got the Olenu. The ark is opened.
No, sure, open the door. Close the door.
Well, just get the curtains.
Oh, open the curtain,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. I'll just hand it to
Aleinu
the-
l'shabeach v'aton ha'kol, l'tei v'dua l'yotzer b'reshit, shelo asanu k'yodei ha'ratzot, v'lo samanu k'mitzvot ha'adama, shelo sam melkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol ha'olam, v'aנחנו korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, l'ifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, she'emar b'chaya Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, u'shemo
All right, we're starting something new this Shabbat. We're going to announce the name of the yard site, the person whose yard site falls on this particular Shabbat. Okay. Names? Thinking about our good friend Joel Lubar. Anyone else?
Theodore Rattleson, my father.
Let him rest in peace.
Elise Kahn, my mother-in-law. Hans Fenstermacher, dear friend.
Hamakom.
And Joe Tashoff,
Hamakom.
kinsman by marriage.
Oh, okay. All right, Mourner's Kaddish on page 52, of course, thinking about the situation in Israel. Yitkadav, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabo, Amen. Yamad Yivrach Yurutei, V'yamlich Malchutei. L'chayei Chol, V'yamei Chol, L'chayei L'chol Beit Yisrael. Hagalo, V'zman Kariv, Yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabo, V'varach, V'yamam, Amen. Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitpa'ar, Yitramam, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalal, Shmei, Kudashah, Riyachu, V'elam, and Kol Birachata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, V'nechamata, Tamiran, Gelma, V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shlama, Rabba, Ben Shemaya, V'chayim, Aleinu, V'yakol Yisrael, V'yimru, Amen. Oseh Shalom, V'nima, Huyaseh Shalom. Aleinu v'yalkol Yisrael, v'yalkol Yoshvei Tevel, Amen. Also, Evelyn Kaiser, of blessed memory. Please sit. Before Cantor leads us near Don Olam, a few words from our wonderful Captain President.
It's Shabbos, everyone. Welcome. It's lovely to have new friends here and to spend Shabbat with you. I want to let you know some wonderful things that are happening at Temple Shalom, beside all the wonderful things you already know about. It's this time of year where we're beginning to think about Pesach already. And the first flyer has been printed for our Seder, which is going to be the second Seder this year on April 23rd. And you'll be able to, I believe that Doreen has put the flyer on the website already. If not, it'll be on by Monday. And you can call the office on Monday and start to place your orders for our Seders, which are wonderful, because you already know that Temple Shalom is not just a congregation, but a family. And when we have our events and our Seders and our dinners and our kiddushes together, it's a gathering of warm, sweet people at the sweetest shul on the whole planet. And everyone feels welcome. And our Seders as well are a time for memories. Because now, with children living far away and families not always centralized as they used to be, it's up to all of us, our community, to make our events family events that are warm and sweet. So please think about joining us for the second Seder. As well, we are beginning a new discussion group, if you like. It's for women only, so sorry. It's called the Women's Circle. And the first meeting of the Women's Circle is going to meet on Monday, March 11th at 10:30. With all the issues that are in front and center for women nowadays, it's very important that we have a forum in which to discuss these things for ourselves, for our daughters, for granddaughters, and some for great-granddaughters, but for the women to come. And we wanted to have an open and free forum for the women and friends of members and guests of members and any woman who would like to attend. It is going to be led by Gail Weisberg, who is the director of the Cantor Center out in Fort Lauderdale. Temple Shalom and the Cantor Center are partnering on this side of Northern Broward. And Gail, who is a dynamo, will be leading the group. She is full of energy, up to date on what's going on, and you'll enjoy being in her company. So I hope you and the women who are at home on Zoom, and to those, the men who are at home on Zoom, hello to you too, but you can't come today. And maybe we'll have a men's forum too, if you get jealous enough. We could start one. So please check the website for all the events that we have, and please feel welcome and free to come. It's my honor to be your president. I love being your president. And if every once in a while, if you don't see me on a Friday night or on a Saturday, I'm trying a little bit, so far very unsuccessfully, to cut back my schedule a little bit, because it's a very big job, which I love, but I need to conserve a little bit. So if you ever don't see me, I'm fine. I'm just at home chilling out. But what I would like to get to a schedule of is coming one Friday night, and then the next week coming on Saturday. If I can alternate, I'm going to try to do that. I've tried before. I failed miserably. but I'm going to give it another shot. So, good Shabbos to each and every one of you.
So we'll conclude with Adon Olam, page 54. Adon Olam asher bala b'terem kol yisir nivron le'ed nafsa v'chefzo
Chazar melech Shemo nikra, ve'acharei kiblot hakol, le'ado yimlot nora, ve'hu haya, ve'hu hove, ve'hu yiyeh letifara, ve'hu yiyeh letifara, ve'hu echad ve'ein sheni, le'am shilo, le'hapila, ve'li reishit, ve'li tachlit, ve'lo ha'oz, ve'ha'misra, ve'lo ha'oz, ve'ha'misra, ve'hu eli, ve'chai go'ali, ve'tzur chevli, ve'etz hara, ve'hu nisi, umanos li, menat kosi, ve'yom ekra, menat kosi, ve'yom ekra, ve'yado akid rubi, ve'yeti shash, ve'ayira, ve'imru fi geviati, Adonai li ve'lo ira, Adonai li ve'lo ira.
Closing benediction, Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may the Lord bless you and keep you. Yo'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, may the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. The Lord turn his face unto you and grant you peace. We say Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Come join us for coffee and cake in the rotunda.
I know, Dad.
Good job.